welcome back to the new year with Hazardous Hot Dogs. I'm your host, Freya. We're coming back from a little hiatus because I do work in retail and I had a bunch of overtime. And Charlie's been on vacation hanging out with my parents and we don't want to shoot an episode without him. So we are back with this year's motto, no losers, only wieners. I hope you really enjoy the show. I picked out a new recipe. I wanted to learn how to make French onion soup for myself, and I found a great French onion hot dog recipe. So we're going to be cutting up this onion, throwing it into the food processor, caramelizing the onions, which I know a few of you said you wish you saw more of the preparation on the show. Happy to do that, but caramelizing onions takes like 35 to 40 minutes according to the recipe. So I will be back when that is done, and we'll see you soon. Alright, and we are back. So to caramelize the onions, I actually ended up not using the food processor. I did cut it by hand because I thought it would give us a nice long slivers that would be better. So I did just slice really large strips. But you put 1 tablespoon of butter or 2. I went with 2 because it's a large onion. Caramelized it for quite some time till it got to a nice caramel color. And then I added some beef broth in there, let it simmer for a little while. And I've got the hot dogs on the hot dog roller, so I'm going to grab those off, put some onions on it, and then we're going to add the cheese and put it in the broiler. So give me just a second to grab those. And I will note today that Charlie cannot have onions because it's very bad for dogs. So he's just getting a hot dog with cheese, which is like 2 of his favorite things, so he will be very happy with that. Alright, so I got my hot dogs on here, and I'm just going to grab a whole bunch of the onions and slather it on. All of my leftover onions will be added into a French onion soup, which I'm also very excited about, and we'll have for, I guess this will be lunch, so that'll be dinner later. Alright, so we got lots of nice hot slivery onions on there. Once we are done with that, we are going to add some Sargento's Aged Italian Blend, and then we're going to toss it in the broiler just to get that cheese nice and melted on top. And we will be back in just a moment once this is toasted. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I did it about 2 minutes in the broiler. I possibly could have done a little longer, but it looked really nice and good and melty, and I didn't want it to get burned. Even though I think French onion soup usually is a little burned on the top. But let's see how amazing this tastes. I hope it's really amazing. Alright. That's some good cheese. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really get any of the onions in that bite. Let's try again. That is very good. Very, very good. The bun is like perfectly toasted too. So it is time consuming. Caramelizing onions was not fast, but this is delicious and you should definitely try it. If you do, shout out, let me know. This won't be my favorite one yet. Definitely better than the, wow, pumpkin spice one was absolutely the worst. Yeah, don't ever try that one. Alright, so I'm going to give Charlie his hot dog and cheese in just a moment, and you guys can enjoy the rest of your day. And since it is pretty cold outside, we're going to go ahead and feed you inside today. Charlie, have your hot dogs and cheese. We do want to thank you for coming to this week's episode of Hazardous Hot Dogs. Looking for suggestions for next week. If anybody wants to guest star, let me know. Or I'm thinking maybe some like hot dog street tacos, or I guess I could go back to the book since I have the book. But any suggestions, feel free to comment and we will definitely get on them. Alright, we'll see you next week.